Elite Dangerous is one of the most beautiful space games ever developed. Hell, it's one of the most beautiful games full stop. Today we're going to take a departure from our standard, boring tutorial fare to look at the top 10 most amazing sights to see in Elite Dangerous. From stars and black holes to the Guardians and Thargoids, there's so much to see in Elite Dangerous that it's time we take a tour of some of these amazing locations. I'll do my best to stay in or as close to the bubble as possible, with a few detours that are definitely worth the effort. So sit back or fly along, let's take a look at the top 10 most amazing sights to see in Elite Dangerous. Starting our list, let's talk about stations. As stations are critical to gameplay in Elite, here we'll look at some of the most scenic in the bubble. We'll only be taking beauty into account rather than station services. There are the Mega and Generation ships, the aptly named Dual and Quad noob hammers, asteroid bases, and bases almost in the corona of their star. There's the interior beauty of stations like Mars High, and the splendor and scale of the huge planetary cities like Ulrich City on Mercury. To start our list, at number 10, we have the stunning beauty of McTurner Base in the California Nebula. Located just outside the bubble, 1,200 light-years from Sol, this massive planetary base is in the heart of the deep red California Nebula, making for one of the most stunning skies you'll see anywhere. With vast amounts of natural beauty in the region, if you haven't been here before, I assure you, it's absolutely worth the trip. In our number 9 slot, let's look at geological beauty. For these, we could visit the water geysers on Ariel and Sol, lava geysers just about anywhere, or the canyons and epic mountain range on Pomeche 2C. But for my money, I'll visit our number 9 pick, Mount Neverest, every single time. Located on Nervi 3A, this is the largest mountain known in the galaxy, with peaks towering 50 kilometers over the floor below. With stunning views in all directions and places to land even large-class ships, the views of the icy plains from the summit simply can't be beaten, making Mount Neverest my number 9 choice. Moving on to number 8, let's look at something else Elite has plenty of: planets. While there are literally hundreds of millions to choose from, let's look at a few of the most interesting. There's the 6.7G planet of Achenar 3, where you can go speedbowling, and which shouldn't be attempted without great thrusters. There's the scorching heat of Skardee A1, where you'll be fuel scooping as you drop into glide, and burn to death without heat sinks. However, for the number 8 slot, let's head to Midderand Hollow. Originally discovered as a bug, it was allowed to remain given its popularity, as it's a small moon that orbits the Earth like New Africa once every 90 seconds. That's right, every 90 seconds. It's so fast, in fact, that in Super Cruise, you have to let it catch you, as you'll never catch it. Offering stunning close-up views of New Africa and an Earthset and Earthrise every 90 seconds, it's a sight every commander needs to see, making Midderand Hollow our number 8 choice. Next up, at number 7, let's look at star systems. We could pick the cradle of humanity that is Sol, or the home system of the Empire, Achenar. Parseo, the planetless system with 6 stations, is also a sight to see. The second largest section of human-inhabited space, Colonia, is a great stop for long-range explorers, with Beagle Point, at more than 65,000 light-years from Sol, being about as far away from Earth as one can get. But my number 7 choice puts them all to shame, and it is the amazing, name-worthy collection of wonders. With 2 black holes, a ringed red dwarf, ringed white dwarf, and ringed neutron, with rings that extend a massive 10 light seconds from its center, this system has to be seen to be believed. At just over 11,000 light years from Sol, it's certainly outside the bubble, but as it's somewhat on the way to Colonia, it's a sight all who are headed to that region should see. It truly lives up to its name, making Collection of Wonders my number 7 choice. As we come to number 6, we should talk about stars. With 100 to 400 billion by accounts, there is no shortage of them to see, and you can travel to every single one of them. You can visit the closest neutron to the bubble, Jackson's Lighthouse, or you can visit the triple black holes and 13 stars of HIP 63835, or see the impressive views of the massive Betelgeuse. But for our number 6, I'm choosing the monster that is VY Canis Majoris. A sight every explorer should see, this is the largest star in the Elite Dangerous Galaxy. While depending on your perspective, it can look like any other star, you then realize just how massive this monster is. At roughly 12,000 light seconds in diameter, it could contain 9.3 billion, yes billion, of our Sun. If it existed in our solar system, it would not only swallow Earth, but all the way out past Jupiter and on to Saturn. That's why VY Canis Majoris is my number 6 pick and something you should make sure to see. We've talked about systems and stars, now let's talk about nebula. These stellar factories are some of the most stunning arrays of color you'll see. As there are hundreds of nebula in Elite, we could do an entire video on them alone. From the nearby Pleiades to the easily seen Barnard's Loop, the list is long. And while I could pick the Witch Head or Flame Nebula or any visited by Small Worlds 3 expedition, for our number 5 pick, I'm looking at Tranquility Stop in the Shiroga Nebula. While this nebula is a huge 2,100 light years from Sol, again breaking our promise to stay in the bubble, this place is just too amazing to not give the top spot. Known as Black and Green, this tiny nebula only has a black hole and an impressive installation, but sadly nowhere to land, save for possible fleet carriers in the system. With absolutely incredible views if you ever decide to head to Sagittarius A star, and you totally should, this cannot be missed. Moving on to number 4, it's time to get out your tinfoil hats as let's talk about aliens. Currently, 2 races have been discovered, the Guardians and our current enemy, the Thargoids. Let's start with the former, the Guardians. There are several Guardian site types to see, from the ancient ruins to the planetary Guardian structures and orbital Guardian beacons. And while all should be visited, for our number 4 selection, I'll be picking the Guardian Beacon. Not only extremely atmospheric, but with the added bonus of chargeable orbs that provide the ancient key, which is used to unlock the Guardian ship launch fighters, these are both functional and beautiful to see. While not as useful as the Guardian frameshift drive booster, which you'll visit the planetary structures for, these are such an incredible sight to see that I had to give the Guardian Beacons my number 4 spot. As we near the end of our list, at number 3, let's keep our tinfoil hats on and talk about our current alien foe, the Thargoids. We could choose the first barnacle site discovered on Merope 5C, or the attacked mining camp of Site 94. And while a personal favorite, the Barnacle Forest should absolutely be seen by all, given it's extremely atmospheric. At number 3, we're going to pick my favorite Thargoid site, the machine found inside active Thargoid bases. These bases are scattered throughout the Pleiades region and are both dead and active, with the active bases requiring both a Thargoid probe and sensor to enter and power on the machine. We're unsure of its purpose, although it certainly appears to be a map of some kind, and is an incredible sight to see. It's the beauty of this that makes the machine and Thargoid bases my number 3 choice. As we reach our second to last spot on the list, I've definitely saved the best 2 for last. At our number 2 space, let's have a look at planetary surfaces, specifically canyons. We could pick the roughly 8-kilometer deep canyons on Ariel in Sol, or the beautiful canyons of Milsiak 1A, or the amazing pink and blue canyons on Pomeche 2C. And while all are rather impressive, nothing in the galaxy stacks up to our number 2 pick, the 20-kilometer deep ribbon canyons of what I fondly refer to as Testicle Moon. One look at this wrinkled body and you'll see why I chose its name. In my opinion, this is the most spectacular planet yet discovered in all of Elite. Covered, and I mean covered, in 20-kilometer deep ribbon canyons, there is no one right place to drop in for a closer look. At around 700 light years from Sol, it's about 20 minutes or so away with a good jump range, and as such, absolutely worth the trip. If you visit a single place on this list, I hope it's our number 2 pick, as this absolute gem has to be seen to be believed. Before we pick our number 1, let's look at an honorable mention, and those are capital ships. While you can see these massive vessels in space dock, and fleet carriers share a very similar jump animation, there is nothing like seeing 2 of these huge capital class ships drop into a conflict zone and go to battle with each other. Audible and visual delight that comes after hearing capital class signature detected is absolutely stunning. Like something from a Hollywood film, the epic space battle that ensues is a must-see. While their departure is a little bit anticlimactic, this is something that should be seen by all commanders, especially those who enjoy huge space combat. As we reach our final pick and look back over the list, we've seen canyons and mountains, nebulas and black holes. We've seen aliens. We've seen amazing stations and stars. So for our final choice, let's search for signs of life. The galaxy is a barren place, and while we can see the natural beauty of Earth-likes and high metal content worlds from space, there isn't much life we can see close up. A few exceptions to this are on planets such as the bark mounds, anemones, and sinuous tubers, with the latter only found vast distances from Sol. Brain trees are another favorite, as these exist close to the bubble. And while these are all found on planetary surfaces, the most amazing, most stunning place you can find life in the Elite Dangerous Galaxy are to be found in Lagrange clouds. So for my number 1 pick, we have all the life found within these amazing lightning storm Lagrange clouds. All the sights I've seen in Elite Dangerous, Lightning Storm Lagrange Clouds and the life within are my all-time favorite, as not only is the life interesting, but the lighting and environments are just incredible. They are some of the most immersive places I've ever experienced, and I've literally jumped due to the quality of the spatial audio effects. These contain a wide range of life, and while standard Lagrange clouds can be found very near the bubble, unfortunately lightning storms are only found vast distances away, with the closest known 11,000 light years from Sol, and what you see here almost 35,000 light years away. If you're a deep space explorer and are looking for life, you owe it to yourself to find and see one of these amazing storms, as they are, in my opinion, the most amazing sight to see in all of Elite Dangerous. Hopefully you enjoyed that tour of some of the most beautiful sights to see. As there are so many in Elite, I'm sure I've missed a few, so please share your favorites in the comments below. You'll find a full list of every system featured in this list in the comments section as well. As this list took literally years to cultivate and many, many hours of work to bring together, I hope if you've made it this far, I've earned your subscription. As this has been Commander Exigeous of EDTutorials.com, reminding you to explore dangerously, and thanks for watching.